Yeah, hi, and hi. Welcome to day 4 of Recovery with Ike, recovery from alcoholism. Again, thank you to the people that have reached out to me. The person who I was speaking to this morning, I was actually speaking to somebody this morning at length about these videos and how they're feeling about it, and I really enjoyed that conversation. It really showed me that to make a difference in my world, I've just got to put it out there. Yeah. Thank you for touching base and for reaching out and for all of the comments that have been left in regards to the other videos. I wanted to talk a bit more about alcoholism today and what it is that determines someone to be an alcoholic, because I don't think anyone really wants to say, yes, I'm an alcoholic, to diagnose themselves as that. But think about it. If you're not doing the things you should be doing because you're drinking, then maybe there's a bit of a problem. A dictionary definition of what is alcoholism. Alcoholism is the most serious of problem drinking. It describes a strong and often uncontrollable desire to drink. Yeah, often sufferers from alcoholism will place drinking over their other obligations such as work and family and whatever else. And let's think about that for a minute. Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you're having a drink and you don't really want to stop, you want to carry on, and there's something else that you know you should be doing, but you're not? Whatever it may be. The point is maybe you're placing drinking over your other obligations. Let's put it out there. Some of the methods that people would have used to try and limit their drinking are things like, I only drink at parties. I might not drink at home, or I'll only drink a certain type of drink. Say I only drink beer instead of spirits, or I only drink spirits instead of beer. I won't drink whilst I'm at work during work hours. Yeah, there's a whole host of things that we may try to limit the amount of drinking we do. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're putting those limiters on and you're breaking them, then maybe there is a problem there. You see, what's interesting, yeah, is I always had the definition that an alcoholic was, like a bum on the street, the guy that's sleeping homeless, or picking up cigarette butts, or that raging drunk that's always beating up their wife, or they're fighting with people on the street, or they're being absolutely negligible of their responsibilities. But I've come to learn that it's a lot more acute than that. Yeah, there are functioning alcoholics out there. People that on the surface it looks like they're doing extraordinarily well, but they do have a drinking problem. And if you even think to yourself that maybe you've got a drinking problem, it's highly likely that you have. Because for you to even think that there's a problem means there's been incidences that may be slightly outside of what you believe is in your control, hence the word problem. And if ever that has come up, then it might be a good time right now to address that and maybe take part and try and quit drinking for a short period of time and just see what the feeling is, what the outcome is. Let me ask you, if it's ever got to a point where you're maybe thinking that one day you might be able to just drink normally, yeah, and not go as far as the limits that you go to, which are the regrettable limits, which is why we've highlighted as a problem. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that we're talking about it as a problem means we've gone places with it that we maybe thought we shouldn't have. And if ever it gets to that point, then I think it's time to actually really start addressing it. Now, I'm going to place a link in the bio for this video, and I'll ask you to click on it and maybe just do a simple self-alcohol test to test whether or not you are maybe consuming too much. It's a really simple questionnaire, and I invite you all to fill it out and just have a look and see what you'll be surprised at the results if you look at how much drinking you're actually doing. Do you know why this really, another reason why this has really inspired me is because all of those guys that are doing the Superman fast, I'm in awe of you. I've decided not to take part in it, but I think it's beautiful because they're going without food. So obviously they're going without alcohol. And I'm looking forward to, touching base with the guys and finding out about how they feel about what they're actually doing, and are they, how are they feeling more powerful? Ultimately, you're going to feel a bit more drained. But, you guys who are doing the fast, please reach out and let me know how that's going for you. And, let's have a bit of dialogue about your outcomes, what you was hoping to achieve, what you're hoping to achieve at the end of this. I've spoken to a couple and they already told me that they're losing weight already. So, yeah, all power to you guys, man. I'm so proud of you. I was actually speaking with somebody, quite a young man, who he's doing really, really well in his business. And on the back of doing well, he goes out and has drinks at night. And often it's the case that he would carry on drinking until early hours of the morning, pass out at home or wherever, wake up. And the only way that he found to control that was to have another drink. He woke up feeling a bit nervous and anxious about whatever's happened the night before, and straight away he might just have one more drink. And the fact that it's a situation where he feels he needs to have another drink, that's where our conversation was in regards to him being, maybe having an issue and maybe being an alcoholic. And the beautiful thing is, after quite a long conversation, he came to the conclusion that it might be time to explore some sort of a change. Now, I can say this, people. I know if you're doing well and you're earning or things are looking right from the outside, sometimes there is that spiritual hole that needs to be filled. And often it's the case that when we are in the throes of success and we are doing what it looks like we should be doing on the surface, that spiritual hole is what can be almost the death of us. And I say the death of us in tongue-in-cheek, but it can lead to death. But it's that spiritual hole that needs to be filled that will allow us to ease back on our consumption of alcohol. How many times is it that you've been out or you've done something well and you celebrate with a drink, but it just goes way too far? Yeah. And often by attributing alcohol to our successes, you celebrate with a drink, can ultimately be what brings us to that downfall. And when I say downfall, again, I'm not talking about, I'm down and out, lost my house, lost my car, lost, my wife's left me, or, the kids have been taken from me. I'm not talking about that. When I'm saying downfall, I mean on a spiritual level. Yeah. For me, my experience, and I can only speak from my experience, it's about maintaining a spiritual connection. And I believe that alcohol was disconnecting me from maintaining that spiritual connection. Hence why I had paused from alcohol, and it's carried on to where it is today. Look, guys, I invite your feedback on this subject. I want to hear from you. I know a lot of you, and I thank you again for the people that have reached out, but I know there's more out there that are being impacted by this. If you're shy to leave a comment, then reach out to me directly. Reach out to a member of the Child of God team. That's what we're about. We're here to help. And, if we can point you in the right direction of where you can get help, or even just have a conversation. Let's just start with a conversation, because that for me is more important. Yeah, reach out. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, and that's what I want. Yeah, this is my way of making the world a better place.